Did you know? Some events in history have left an everlasting scar on humanity, reminding us of the fragility of life. Let's uncover 10 of the most devastating tragedies recorded in human history and imagine how their effects might play out today. 1. The Black Death, 1347 to 1351. This plague wiped out up to 200 million people in Europe, Asia, and North Africa. The disease spread through fleas on rats, killing people in days. Entire villages vanished, and society was thrown into chaos, with people turning to superstition and fear. If it happened now, global travel could make the disease spread in hours, potentially outpacing vaccine development. However, modern medicine and rapid communication might mitigate its impact, though panic would still lead to economic and social breakdowns. 2. World War II, 1939 to 1945. Over 70 to 85 million lives were lost due to combat, genocide, bombings, and starvation. It reshaped the world order, leading to the rise of superpowers and the Cold War. Entire cities like Hiroshima and Nagasaki were obliterated in seconds. If it happened now, the existence of nuclear weapons and artificial intelligence in warfare would make a global conflict catastrophic, potentially ending civilization as we know it. Economic interdependence might also crumble, plunging the world into a new dark age. 3. The Taiping Rebellion, 1850 to 1864. This massive civil war in China killed between 20 and 30 million people. It was a clash between the Qing dynasty and the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, which sought to establish a new social order. Starvation and disease ravaged the population during the prolonged conflict. If it happened now, social media could amplify ideological divides, making uprisings more widespread. Modern weaponry could turn civil unrest into devastating urban warfare, with neighboring nations potentially intervening. 4. The Spanish Flu, 1918 to 1920. This pandemic infected nearly a third of the global population, with deaths reach 50 million. It spread rapidly in a post-WWI world where hygiene and medical knowledge were limited. Entire communities were paralyzed, and there was a pervasive sense of dread. If it happened now, while vaccines and public health infrastructure could help, the speed of global travel might still cause millions of deaths before containment. The psychological toll of lockdowns and economic crisis would exacerbate its impact. 5. The Mongol Conquests, 13th century. The Mongol Empire expanded aggressively, killing over 40 million people across Asia and Europe. Cities were razed to the ground, and fear of the Mongol armies caused mass migrations and collapses of entire states. If it happened now, such a campaign would involve cyber warfare and drone strikes, causing widespread displacement and destroying urban centers. The interconnected global economy would face a complete collapse. 6. The Holodomor, 1932 to 1933. This man-made famine in Soviet Ukraine claimed millions of lives due to policies that confiscated crops and punished farmers. People starved in their homes, while authorities destroyed food supplies. If it happened now, satellite imagery and global food aid programs could provide relief, but authoritarian regimes might still suppress information. Political manipulation of resources remains a significant risk in many parts of the world. 7. The Indian Partition, 1947. The division of British India into India and Pakistan displaced 15 million people and led to up to 2 million deaths in violent clashes. Families were torn apart, and horrific atrocities occurred as religious tensions erupted. If it happened now, media coverage might prevent some violence, but the rapid spread of misinformation could also fuel tensions. Modern refugee crises like Syria's demonstrate how difficult it is to manage such displacement even today. 8. The Columbian Exchange, 1492 onwards. European colonizers brought diseases like smallpox to the Americas, wiping out up to 90% of the indigenous population. Entire cultures were lost as a result of biological and cultural devastation. If it happened now, modern medicine might curb disease spread, but the destruction of ecosystems and cultural heritages would still leave irreversible scars, much like deforestation and climate change today. 9. The Great Chinese Famine, 1959 to 1961. Triggered by poor government policies and natural disasters, this famine killed between 15 and 45 million people. Forced collectivization and poor planning exacerbated the crisis, leaving millions to starve. If it happened now, governments might use technology to monitor crops, but political repression could still lead to similar disasters. The international community might impose sanctions, further complicating the crisis. 10th Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings, 1945. The atomic bombings ended World War II, but killed over 200,000 people through immediate and long-term effects. Survivors, known as hibakusha, suffered from radiation sickness, cancer, and social stigmatization. If it happened now, modern nuclear weapons are exponentially more powerful. A single detonation could render entire regions uninhabitable for centuries, leading to global condemnation and an irreversible shift in geopolitics. Final thoughts. These events remind us of humanity's resilience, but also its vulnerability. If such catastrophes were to occur today, modern technology might offer some solutions, but human behavior and political complexities could still lead to devastating outcomes. Learning from the past is our greatest tool for preventing future tragedies. For more thought-provoking content, subscribe to All Topic Zone and join us as we explore history, mysteries, and modern-day realities.